Hello, listeners, patients, and or Clear Mind employees. I'm Dakota, and I'm reading this massage. Do you mean message? All right, I'm reading. I'm reading this massage of my own free will. A wonderful shout out to our patrons. Michaela Jansen, Laura, Alexa Lynn, I Have No Standards, Kelly Harlan, Timothy O'Keefe, Yanira Veed, and Alex Peltier. You guys are truly amazing, and I just wanted to say nothing suspicious or dark is happening in the basement. Mike is a prankster and totally fine. We don't need any help. Anyway, enjoy the show! Was that good? Can I eat now? Dark Papers Entertainment presents The Patient Files. Season 2, Episode 4, Seen in the Dark.
Dear Diary, today was interesting? Odd? Either way, more than anything, it was long. It was mainly the car ride that took forever. The rest of it went pretty quickly. Rather, I guess it seemed to go quickly. To be fully honest, I'm not sure exactly how much time passed in the car. I'm mainly zoned out with my headphones in. I guess I should start keeping track of that stuff now? Still, it feels strange. So does being out of the apartment. Oh, I almost forgot! Lucian finally agreed to let me tag along. Which, I guess you figured out. It's not like we went on a car ride in the apartment. Anyway, we eventually pulled into a gas station. He wanted to get gas. I was just happy to stretch my legs, go to the bathroom, and stock up on my snacks.
While you're in there, put 40 on pump 5, will you, little one?
Sure, can I get a little extra? I was thinking I could get something to eat, since we're here.
Didn't I tell you to pack supplies before we left?
I did! I just didn't think we'd be driving this long.
What did you expect? That we would just go a block over and just happen across it?
Can I get snacks or not?
Fine. Here. Give me an energy bar while you're at it.
Uh-huh. Lucian can be so annoying sometimes. Like, he says he's just trying to be protective and help me ever since I lost my spark mode, but he nitpicks everything I do and say. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on him. I think I know the real reason why he's being so frustrating. Lucian feels afraid. I mean, he puts on a strong face, but getting separated from Mr. Talbot and H. Gray must have been hard. Maybe part of it is he is concerned something will happen to me too. But mainly, as much as he would deny it, I just ultimately think he doesn't want to be alone. Which I understand. Anyways, sorry, where was I? Oh, right, the gas station. So, after I refueled on snacks and got back to the car, Lucian just started to pump the gas. You want your dumb energy bar now or later?
Later. I had one earlier. Make sure you're not overdoing it with the sugar or processed foods. We may have to do a lot of running later.
I know!
Alright, you know what? I've had it. You have had an attitude all day, more than usual.
Most of the day has been spent driving in this stupid car, and I have my headphones in. I don't have an attitude.
No?
No. Maybe I just don't want to hear all about your complaining. Oh, Eli, don't eat so much sugar. Take your headphones off and maybe you can listen to my music. That coat is far too baggy on you.
Well, it is, but that's not the point. I thought since you were finally out of the apartment, you would be happy. I understand your body is going through changes, and with the hormones and...
Oh my god! Can we not have this conversation? Gas is done pumping. Let's just go.
No, we aren't going anywhere until you tell me what's wrong. You have been begging to leave the apartment since we practically moved in, and now that I say yes, you're more moody than ever. Why?
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
It's your father, isn't it?
I don't know.
Look, I know that conversation didn't go how either of us would have hoped, and you don't have to say anything, but it's okay to be upset about it. What's not okay is how you treat others, specifically me. If you want to talk, I'll listen, and if not, that's fine. Just stay focused on the task at hand. What's that saying you learned from Charles?
Emotions in a folder.
Right then, do that.
He also said it wasn't healthy.
Oh, what does he know? Charles liked his ham and cheese sandwiches without ham. Without ham, for God's sake.
Yeah, that was really weird. You remember how he would make lemonade without any sugar? Like, at all?
Don't remind me. Still better than how H. Gray would make it.
Lemonade? More like a pitcher of vodka with a few squeezes of lemon.
Eli, you didn't.
I thought it was a pitcher of fancy water. I spat it out as soon as I realized.
Oh, who are we kidding? I'm the last person to judge you. Now, if Charles found out, however...
I miss them.
I know. We should get going. Feel better now?
A little. Sorry.
It's quite alright. Family can bring complicated emotions, even if one doesn't want it to.
As much as I hate that he was right, Lucian made a good point. I've been avoiding writing this bit down, but without it, this entry doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? The entire reason we were on the road, why I started the day in a bad mood, and everything that happened after the gas station was all because of my laptop. More specifically, Dad. I think it's frozen. Should you restart it, or... Wait, huh?
Hello, can you hear me? Oh, who cares about that? I knew you could solve it. Oh my God, I've been waiting so long. I have so much to tell you.
Dad, it's me, Eli! Oh my God, we finally...
Hello?
Huh?
Damn thing. What do you want from me? Morse code? All right, hold on. Just give me a moment.
Dad? Dad! Hello?
I don't think he can hear us, little one.
But he is right there!
Just give him a moment.
No, that's in the correct sequence. Hold on. Let me check my notes. Where did I put that?
Lucian, we did it! We found Dad! Well, I mean, we didn't, find him, but this is the next best thing. He could tell us where he is and we could pick him up. Then, all we need to do is find Mr. Talbot and H. Gray, and then...
Calm down, Eli.
Right. Sorry, it's just...
Okay, all right. Are you still there? I'm going to assume yes. On my end, everything is working just fine. I can't seem to be able to establish a full link. I know you're on the other end, but I'm not receiving video or audio of you. Could you look at the sigils? Perhaps there's a loose connection.
Crap! The old battery! What if
It's fine.
Eli!
Luckily,
Quiet.
I built a workaround. There's a text box at the bottom of the screen. Do you see it?
Lucian, look! He typed hello! Type something back!
I
find
am.
it?
Hold on.
You have to click on it with a mouse. Make sure to hit enter.
Hit enter!
I did. Nothing happened.
All right. Greg wouldn't happen to be with you, would he? No, of course not. If we established a link, broken as it may be, we would have to be on the same plane. Since all the spell work on my end is fine, I think it's safe to assume that all my functions are working properly. Meaning, you should be able to see and hear me, as well as receive messages and attachments I send your way. So, if I had to guess, something on your end broke, or in the very least became damaged. Let's see here. Good news. Relative tracking is working. By the looks of it, you're in Michigan. Oh, that's pretty far. I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? First and foremost, I want to say how proud of you I am. I knew that if anything went wrong, you would be able to find me. I know things must not have been easy with my absence. I never had any doubt you would persevere. Look how far you've come. To get where you are, you must have faced many dangers, found and went through a rift, and let's not forget solving the password. You have come a long way from when we met at that bar, H. Gray.
H. Gray?
Sentiments
H.
aside, I
Gray?
think it's about
Eli.
time
I
we
solved the
address
password,
other
Dad!
matters.
Me! H. Gray? He didn't do shit!
Michigan, was it?
He wasn't even the one who
I
found the
think I may
laptop!
have-
It was my laptop!
Give me a moment.
Eli, he can't hear you.
Yeah, no kidding! Then again, you never did need any faulty magic to not hear me, did you, Dad?
Here we
Eli.
are.
Yeah,
H.
whatever.
Gray, we both have collected a long list of enemies, and as much as I want to believe it is you on the other end, I have to be careful. Make no mistake, I have faith in you, always have, but I'm sure you understand the need for caution. With that in mind, I have a job for you. One that should be easy. I'm sending over a document on the Michigan Dogman. I'll be keeping an eye out on this case, H. Gray. I hope it is you on the other end. Before I forget, about the laptop. Whether you got the password right, or if you had to do the puzzle, it doesn't matter. As you may have surmised, the password is always the name of whoever is typing. That said, there is a small kink in the magic I wasn't able to work out. Make sure you also enter the names of those in the immediate vicinity of the laptop. Could be first name, last name, nickname. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. What is important, however, is that you include them. If you don't, they will be forced to complete the puzzle. I apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. For now, I'm afraid I have to go. Conversation end.
Dad closed the program, plunging the feed into darkness. Lucian and I just stared at our reflections for a long moment. The text box at the bottom had an audio file. Lucian hovered the cursor over the play icon.
Well, what do you think, little one? Shall we hear what this dogman thing is about?
I think I've heard enough from Dad.
Look, I know that
You want to listen to it so bad? You can! The next morning, Lucian was already packing his bag, which somehow I found more annoying than usual.
Good morning, little one.
Leaving again?
Well, yes, your father sent over an interesting file. I was worried it would be some insurmountable task, but as it turns out...
I don't need your life story. If you want to go, just go. I'll stay here. Not like I have a choice.
I won't be gone long.
Uh-huh.
Tell you what, the case he sent over seems incredibly simple, and relatively speaking, it's not far.
Good for you. Why are you still here?
What I'm trying to say is even Charles could handle this one.
Yeah, I get it.
Join me.
Wait, what?
As I said, a complete novice with no experience and questionable fighting skills should be able to do this. It may be a perfect opportunity to put your training to test.
Thanks, I think. Are you serious? Like, this isn't some kind of mean joke?
If you don't want to go,
No, I'll go. Hold on. Let me pack.
Remember, this is a test. Pack plenty of rations, weapons, and supplies.
Oh my god, I know. I was so excited for a minute that I forgot how mad at Dad I was. And Lucian, for that matter. Dad for obvious reasons, but Lucian knew how upset I was and just pretended like nothing happened. It was like he didn't care at all. Like, I get that talking about emotions isn't his strong suit, but still, he could at least have checked up on me that night or asked how I was holding up. The more I thought about it, the more my feelings of frustration and annoyance came flooding back into me. So, during the car ride, I put on my headphones and tried to listen to music to cheer myself up. It obviously didn't work. Oddly enough, letting some of it out at the gas station helped out a lot. From that point, my mood gradually got better, and soon I didn't need my headphones anymore. Oh, I'm getting lost in the commotion and this song is way too loud. Guess I'm not the city boy I thought I was. Guess I'm as big as in the ocean, yet too small to fit the crowd. Guess Guess I'm not the city boy I thought I was. No, I'm not a city boy. Getting lost in the commotion and there's nowhere to hide. Guess I'm not the city boy. Wait, hold on. That's my favorite part.
We're here.
We are? This is just some woods. You didn't take me out to the middle of nowhere to off me, did you? Did you?
And waste gas. Have you seen these prices?
So, not gonna lie, I have no idea why we're here.
To apparently help with the local dog problem. To be honest, you should listen to the audio file your father sent.
Or you could just tell me.
Perhaps I need a reminder myself. Not to mention good information gathering.
Means examining all sources.
Exactly. But if you'd rather go in ill-informed, we can do that. Oh, I do hope nothing terrible happens to me. Who would buy all the snacks?
Ha ha. I get it. You're right.
Naturally.
Just get the laptop.
All right. Lucian and Eli. Oh, look, the images of both of us. How charming. They got my hair wrong, but close enough.
Are you really critiquing a magic computer?
How is it supposed to get better if we don't tell it?
Oh my god, just hit play.
Dr. Gavin Olin, recording for personal records. Subject of interest, the Michigan Dogman. Location, northern Michigan. A local cryptid for the area. Current hypothesis is that it crossed over from the city, which is a common origin of most cryptids. Sadly, without Clearmind's resources, I don't think capturing it is feasible. Containing it for any significant amount of time would be just as difficult. Further details. Michigan Dogman and Dogmen in general may be distinctly related to a species I sent H. Gray after before, although there are many differences. Witnesses have reported an odd sense of dread or uneasiness before their encounter, although this is not always the case. Most instances happen after sundown or when visibility is low, such as heavy fog, mist, rain, and so on. Horrible howls that may sound familiar to a human scream may also accompany its presence. Its appearance is of a very large dog, with brown to black fur. The dog itself may inspire a tinge of fear, but that is nothing compared to a wave of dread that will wash over you when it stands on two legs. This overwhelming sense of horror is most likely a special ability of sorts. Dogmen seem to feed on fear, or perhaps simply enjoy it. They often will vanish, stalk their prey, and reappear multiple times during the encounter. These can often turn violent. If I ever find myself in that area, I'll have to look into this subject further. Personal record end. Recording end.
That's it? That was barely a minute long.
Hold on. There's another attachment.
A map. I guess we are here?
Close. We're here.
Okay. And these circles are, what? Sighting locations? Dens?
Could be either or something else entirely. Your father isn't one to leave footnotes. Let's take a step back. Aside from the information handed to you, what can you infer from his audio file?
That there were witnesses? So we should ask around.
Not quite. No one was specifically named, and eyewitnesses are highly unreliable. It could take quite some time to weed through the crazies. Okay, I'll start you off. Your father mentioned he sent H. Gray after a related species. What does this tell you about its potential weakness?
Well, H. Gray doesn't really have any special abilities, aside from the voice thing. So can we assume it has a weakness to guns?
So it's corporeal, and may have conventional weaknesses. Good. What else?
They're probably not very durable.
Good, but show your work, Eli.
Well, first he uses human-like screams. Mimicking is a sign of city stuff, but also used by something that wants to lure its prey. It could just be a coincidence, like with foxes, but that doesn't seem likely. It hunts when visibility is low, It intensifies fear, stalks, and then reveals itself. It's more like it's trying to wear the prey out. Sure, it might feed on fear, but that's only a part of it. A direct encounter might have it at a disadvantage. Also, considering Dad or Clear Minds isn't going out of their way to do anything about this, it might not have been worth their time.
Good reasoning. Anything else?
Well, he said dogmen at one point, right? Could it be a pack?
Do you think that makes sense?
No, not really. So far it sounds like a solitary hunter. So, there might be more of them. But solitary hunters would set up a territory.
Good. Let's take another look at this map. Armed with a better understanding, tell me what you see.
Well, the first thought is that the circled areas are territories. Okay, so that seems weird to me. Like, why call it the Michigan Dogman? They're pretty clustered together. Though, the circled areas would be big enough for hunting grounds.
Both are fair points. If we assume for a moment that these are verified sightings instead of territories, these markings paint a different picture. If we were to draw a line connecting each area, what do you notice?
That creates one big circle, which, if that's the case, then the center of the circle would be its den or whatever.
Correct. So which will it be? We could head to the circled area once it gets dark, it's nearby, and if it's a territory, we are likely to encounter it. Or we could head over here, an unmarked location. But if there is only one dogman in this forest, this would likely be its home.
Which one do you think we should do?
Not the point. This is your test.
That's a lot of pressure for a test.
Life is pressure, Eli. Choose to become a diamond. Also, if you're wrong, we can just try again tomorrow, so really not a big deal.
Yeah, but you would still fail me.
Correct.
Okay, I've decided. We'll go here.
Why?
I don't know. Just feels right.
Fair enough. We have a few hours, so we should try and get some rest while we can.
Sure thing. Before I forget, what are we gonna do when we find it?
Do? What do you think? We're going to put it down.
You mean, kill it?
No, I mean tuck it in for the night. Of course I mean kill it. Oh, don't give me that look. Your father himself alluded to such in the recording. And I quote, "Sadly, without Clear Mind's resources, I don't think capturing it is feasible. Containing it for any significant amount of time would be just as difficult."
Okay, but do we really have to...
Okay, think of it like this. If we don't kill it, who knows how many people it will attack? I'm sure you've heard of the trolley problem, yes? It's a thought experiment. You're on a trolley. It's gradually picking up speed. You look up and see the track split in two paths. The trolley is going even faster now. On the right path is a single person. They haven't noticed the trolley yet.
Why not?
I don't know. He has headphones on. It doesn't matter. Because the trolley is headed towards the left path. That's when you notice 5 people on the track, who also have headphones on or whatever. You reach to pull the brake and it snaps off. The only other control you have is the option to switch tracks. If you do, you'll be killing the single person. If you don't, you'll surely kill the 5. So, what do?
Can't they jump out of the way?
No. The trolley is going too fast. By the time they realize it, they will be dead.
Okay, who are these people? Do I know them, or...?
Complete strangers. Any one of the 6 total could be a mass murderer or a saint. You have no way of knowing.
That's not a fair choice.
Choices rarely are.
I'm not sure which one
Oh my god, the answer is simple. Kill the one, save the many. Just... get some rest.
This would be easier with my phone.
We may not always have our phones, little one. We both need to learn to navigate this dimension.
Okay, but you have our phones in your pack.
And if we need them, we'll use them. Now check the map. Where are we?
Okay, so this is the car. We've headed northeast for about 2 miles. That would put us here.
That seems about right. We should be close. One last gear check.
Lucian and I dug through our packs and rechecked what we had on hand. The extra stuff we left in the car. Aside from a few things of food and water, we had some rope, basic bandages, a few ways to start a fire, and a couple of flares. And, of course, weapons. Or rather, a bunch of knives and daggers. Honestly, I'm not sure where Lucian keeps getting all his supplies. His account doesn't work in this dimension, and I don't think he has a job. And again, this is Lucian we're talking about. After making sure we had everything, We silently closed our packs and pushed forward. Up until this point, the trek here was spent almost in this feeling of excitement that buzzed through the air. The anticipation ran through my body in a way that reminded me of my spark mode. Even though it's super annoying, Lucian's training has been burning a hole in me, and I've been itching to put it to the test. In that moment between encounter and hunt, however, a shadow of anxiety fell over me. I had no idea what exactly we were walking into, nor did I even know what I was going to do once we were there. Not having my electricity fall back on, if things got too dangerous, wasn't helping either. Not to mention, this underlying fear seemed to twist the environment in front of me. The once calm forest had become a high-contrast painting. Shadows cut deep between the trees. The crunch of leaves beneath my feet seemed to drown out the natural noise of insects. Whatever sound remained took on a sinister tone. They had been transformed into thousands of discordant warnings. The air itself became still, and had a chill that found its way down to my bones. I checked the compass and map once more before shoving it away. A low fog rolled over the forest floor. A tinge of fear rippled through me. I looked back at Lucian. His serious expression confirmed that he, too, had felt it. My hand twitched, and I had to fight the urge to pull a weapon. I knew that this creature hunted with fear, and any sign that we could defend ourselves may make it change its mind. Then, we came across it. A small cave. It would normally be hidden by the landscape and foliage, but even in the shadows, darkness seemed deeper there. 2 pinpricks of light shone from the cave's depths. The forest fell eerily still, as 2 orbs of red floated in the darkness until, slowly, a shape formed. A force of emotion washed over me. It was this deep sense of fear. It was like an external force crashing against me like waves against a rock. Each push of dread wore away at my will and my prepared sense of courage. The shape took more of a form as it slowly advanced. Unconsciously, I took a step back. A hand gently placed itself on my shoulder. I had forgotten Lucian was there, and in that moment, that small touch grounded me.
You've got this, Noah. It's now or never.
Emotions in a folder. I steeled myself against the emotional assault. The silhouette before me was clearly defined at this point, and even without whatever fear effect it had on us, it was imposing. A large dog, more like a wolf, snarled low and circled us. Although my mind was calmer, my body was still shaking off the effects. I knew the tactics. I knew I should rush it, catch it off guard while it was still in a confined space. I just couldn't make myself move. I forced a deep inhale, but it was too late. The Togman was already out of the mouth of the cave. The blanket of fog hid most of its body, and from what I could see of it, was almost featureless. Whatever resolve I was able to muster vanished in an instant. The thing stood. Its posture was confusing. I struggled to make sense of what I was seeing and what I expected. Motionless, it stood there for a long moment with the ease and comfortability of a person. My breath was trapped inside me from the moment I met its eyes. I didn't even know it. That was until it took a simple step forward. All at once, my lungs demanded air. No matter how much I inhaled, it wasn't enough.
Calm down. Breathe slowly.
His words sounded like they were underwater. My mind searched for a cohesive thought. I felt each thump of my heart rattle against my ribcage in quick, painful bursts. In a blink, the Dogman vanished deeper somewhere into the fog. Terror gripped me, and my body finally found its legs. I ran in the opposite direction.
Eli, wait, no!
As my feet pounded against the forest floor, my mind shouted at me somewhere in the distance. Every time I tried to think, a snarl or an inhuman scream would echo somewhere nearby. Each time, this would renew my fear, returning my body to instinct once more. I found myself in a clearing surrounded by painted shadows and and the white of the food. My body ached and my lungs burned. I couldn't figure out where the sounds were coming from. My eyes darted around, frantically in the unfamiliar area. For a brief moment, I could see a pair of red eyes somewhere in the tree line, or in the fog, or deep within a shadow, only for them to vanish in a blur of movement. I could feel the dread knock once more inside me, and I couldn't tell if it was mine or external anymore. Come on, Eli. Emotions in a folder. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. My hand slowly retrieved a dagger. As I clutched it, a sense of safety slowly returned to me. Only a little, but it was enough. With one more deep breath, my eyes searched my surroundings. Lucian was nowhere in sight. If the dogman rushed me, I would have just enough time to react. I fought the instinct to run with each howl and snarl. I let my body settle into the proper form Lucian showed me, only correcting my feet placement slightly. With a crack somewhere beyond my sight, my body tensed. A large branch flung from the dark. I bent low and dodged to the side as it crashed somewhere behind me. A flash of movement, and the beast showed itself. It barreled its way forward, its clawed hands reaching for me in a murderous intent in its eyes. My reflex was to back up. Instead, I took a few sudden steps forward and waited for it to overextend. When it did, I dropped low and let my momentum carry me until I was behind it. A quick twist of my footwork, and I then faced its back. As practiced, I flipped the dagger and positioned myself to strike just underneath the ribs. The world slowed. My senses melted away, leaving only the sound of my heartbeat. The tip of the blade slowed to a stop and rested gently against the thing's fur. I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to follow through with the practiced motion. The dogman seized the opportunity, and with a backhand, sent me spiraling to the ground. In a fraction of a second, it was on top of me. My forearm against its throat barely kept the snapping jaws at bay. Claws swiped wildly, digging into me painfully. The weight of the beast was near crushing, and I could feel my arm begin to shake. I knew I wouldn't be able to hold out for much longer. My thoughts were sent into a panic. They reached for anything that could help. The dagger! I could risk it. I would only have one shot, but if I was fast enough, I could slice the jugular before it could bury its teeth into me. My eyes fell to the blade, and in its reflection, I saw myself staring back at me. The creature's weight started to shift, and with all the strength I could, I pushed it to the side. The dogman lay limp beside me, a dagger protruding from the side of its head. I sat up and looked at it in confusion. My attention switched between the knife, still in my hand, and the one plunged into the fur and flesh. Blood rapidly pooled onto the soil and grass.
Little one, are you okay?
Yeah, I didn't...
Thank God. What the hell's happened?
Sorry, I ran and I know I shouldn't...
Not that, but yes, running was a horrible idea. I meant, why did you hesitate? You had it, a perfect blow just under the ribs. You slowed. Why in the hells would you slow?
I couldn't,
Jesus Christ, you could have died. You understand that, don't you? If I hadn't been here... You're not ready.
Wait. How long have you been here? How long have you been watching?
Not important. You failed. A simple and easy task. Just a small amount of pressure and you couldn't even do that.
Fuck you, Lucian!
Don't be a sore loser. It's fine. I pulled you out of training too early. After we run the move a few more times...
It won't change anything.
What was that?
I said it won't change anything! We could practice that move 100 times, 1,000 times, and it won't change anything!
What in the hells are you talking about?
I would create a break!
Alright, you're making less and less sense, little one.
The trolley! You said the brake doesn't work. I decided I'd create one. I would snap the old one off and jam the wheels.
That wouldn't work.
Then I'd tear apart the entire thing. I would create so much debris that it can't stay on the rails. No matter how I did it, I would spend every second I could until the trolley crashed. No one would have to die. I won't kill anyone. Ever.
That's so stupid. You would die in that crash.
Then I die. I've made up my mind. Go ahead and put me through whatever tests you want. Train me until I collapse from exhaustion. It won't work. I'm not you. I'm me.
Fine.
Fine?
That's what I said. Look, I know more than anyone that pushing someone until they break doesn't always work. You would think I would have learned that from Father. I'm not trying to change you, Eli. I only want to prepare you, teach you skills to help you survive. And if that means you won't kill, then fine. I'll just kill for you.
I don't want you to...
No, it's fine. I have plenty of blood on my hands. What's a little more? Now, if we're done with this new boundary of yours, shall we report to your father? Something tells me this is only one of many jobs he's going to send us on.
Us? Does that mean...
Oh, God, you're going to make me say it. I retract my previous score. You pass.
Yes!
Don't think this means you get to skip combat classes.
And that's pretty much my day. Lucian let me bury the dog man, and we went back to the car. It may have taken a bit longer than we wanted. We did get a little lost. We didn't even bother contacting Dad. We just drove home. Well, Lucian did. I fell asleep. The whole thing took a lot out of me. We just got home about an hour or two ago, and after a round of showers, here I am. We decided that we'll try and contact Dad tomorrow. Ever since we left the city, Lucian has been treating me like a kid. But I think after today, he sees me for me. Or rather, who I want to be. He might not agree, but he respects it. I don't like that he might have to kill if I fail, though. So, starting now, I'm going to work really hard so that I never fail. I'll just find a different way, that's all. I should get some sleep. For the first time in a while, I actually can't wait for tomorrow.
Showrunners for this episode were Christopher George and Dalton Lewis. The episode was written by Christopher George. Script editing was done by Dalton Lewis. Sound design was done by Christopher George. Lucian Donahue and monster noises were provided by the wonderful voice of Dakota Hamlin. Eli was voiced by Dalton Lewis, and Gavin Olin was voiced by Peter O'Keefe. Original music by Nico from the Inky Paw Print.